I would love to start my own coffee roastery, but I'm scared of the cost and also what is happening if people don't like my coffee or if I don't really like to roast coffee. These are concerns that I hear a lot, and it actually makes sense because if you want to invest in a proper production roaster, even if it's quite a small scale roaster, then you're quickly up to several 10,000s of euro that you invest with all the accessory and equipment you need. You have to rent a space, you're bound to that space then usually also for quite some years. Then you maybe have to invest in gas, electricity and exhaust. So these are all then costs or hurdles that are quite high for a business where you're not really sure if it's going to work out, if people are going to like it, if it's going to be profitable. But the good thing is that in the last years, the situation has changed quite a bit. And one major driver for that is the Aillio Bullet coffee roasting machine. The Aillio Bullet is a machine that is allowing you to then really start into that venture at a really low cost and low risk. And therefore, a lot of people have really chosen exactly that way. There are meanwhile close to 20,000 people in the world roasting on an Aillio Bullet machine, and many of them are people that started their roastery on the machine. Some of them have then developed in a bigger operation and have used the machine really then to start and develop their business. And the reason for that are the machine is really compact, so you can just put it anywhere where you like. So you can take any space that you have available, put in a machine, start roasting. It is very affordable, but at the same time, it's also quite powerful, and it is one of the most precise and one of the most consistent coffee roasting machines in the market. So that allows you then to really then start working on it, develop roasting profiles, develop coffees, find your customers, and then once you have them, scale up to maybe a bit of a larger operation. Aillio has understood this and therefore developed an even more powerful version of the Aillio Bullet, which is called the Aillio Bullet R2 Pro, and it's the machine that you can see here. So the Aillio Bullet R2 Pro has an extremely strong induction module that allows you to roast in one batch 1.2 kilo of green coffee beans. A roast batch is quite short, so you will be roasting around 7 minutes, depends a bit on how light or dark you roast, and then also on your roasting profile. You have a really short time between the batches, so it's heating up then quickly again to the temperature that you like. You have now with the Aillio Bullet R2 Pro an special cooling tray, the Pro cooling tray from Aillio, which is very efficient and quick in cooling down your coffee. So with this machine, you can then roast between 5 or even 6 batches an hour, which means that even with the weight loss, you will be landing at more than 5 kilo of coffee that you can roast on this machine per hour, which is already quite a nice start. And the machine is also not limited when it comes to how long you operate it per day. You can really then work the whole day on this machine and produce quite a bit of coffee on it. At the same time, it takes a maximum of 2,300 watt, so you can plug it in just any household electricity plug, can be used anywhere in your home. And also it allows you really to cover the whole range of coffee roasting. No matter if you like more this light roast, specialty filter roast, or if you're more into darker, more full-bodied, like for example espresso roasts, you can roast the whole range on this machine. What's nice is the use of induction means that the whole drum is then becoming a heating element, so the heat distribution is really even, and this allows you to do then even very fast and very efficient filter roasts with hardly any risk of scorching the beans. So the settings that you have in this machine are the power of the heating element, then also the airflow and the drum speed. So the classic settings that you know from roasting on the drum roaster. And when it comes to the sensors, Aillio has been really innovative, and this is something nice and interesting about the machine. It has the classic bean probe that you know from a drum roaster, but in addition to that, it also has a very precise and fast infrared sensor, which is then also allowing you to quite easily scale up and down batch sizes in the machine, because this infrared sensor is not dependent on how the beans are moving around the sensor, so you can roast smaller or larger batches and translate them quite well using this IBTS sensor. Also, it has an air pressure sensor, which makes sure that the airflow of the machine is really consistent. So even if the machine is maybe a little bit clogged somewhere, or if you have a different air pressure outside, the machine is correcting it so that you have a super consistent airflow. And like that, you can then really well repeat batches from one batch to the other batch so that you have a consistent roast, which is extremely important if you want to roast commercially for customers. And what I also love about the machine is the software it's coming with. It's very intuitive, it's easy to use, easy to understand, and at the same time it has all the functions that you need. And it is also locked to the community of the Aillio Bullet users, where you can find several thousands of roasting profiles. So if you want to roast a particular bean, you can get inspiration from there, take the profiles to your machine, and then copy or repeat it on your machine yourself. Also, if you want to start into roasting, what we are giving you exclusively with this machine is a really comprehensive 4.5-hour online course where you learn everything you need to know about the machine, about the software, but we cover also the topic of coffee roasting and green coffee beans, so that you have really a great start. Even if you coming from a place where you haven't been roasting before, you get really good information so that you can then start with your machine and use it to develop your own roasting business. Also, if you're a customer of us, you can of course always approach me. I'm always happy to help on all different channels. We give you 2 years of warranty, no matter if you are a private or a company customer. And we also have a service center in Europe and all the spare parts in Europe. So if there is anything, we can send you parts quickly, or we get the machine to our service center, fix it, get it back to you quickly, so that you can then really rely on having a nice machine available to start into your operations. And then once you have developed your roasting business and you have grown, or if you have decided that coffee roasting is not the right thing for you, then you will get really nice prices for these machines because they're highly requested out there. So the risk of starting with this machine is really low. So you might ask yourself what else you need to start a coffee roastery, and there is quite a lot of equipment you could use, but you don't have to. I made a blog post on that, which I'm going to link you down there, where you find even a checklist with all the equipment that you could use. But I would also recommend you at the beginning not to stress yourself too much. Get a roasting machine, then try different green coffee beans. This is actually the most important decision: which green coffee beans, how you roast them. Try to find your customer base, invest maybe in a nice marketing, have a nice packaging of bags where you sell the coffee in, and then when you grow, you can then further invest in other equipment like measurement tools or so. And as I said, you find a checklist down there. Now, I hope this video was helpful for you. If you want to know more about the Aillio Bullet R2 Pro, then have a look at the other videos in our channel as well, or have a look at our website where you find a lot of information about it. You can always also contact me if you have specific questions. You find my contact also on the website roasterevels.com.